FB profile. All right. So good evening, everybody. Yan.
Good
Uh,
evening, everyone.
yes.
Hello.
Welcome, Marcy. Welcome
Hello.
Good
to our
evening,
program.
Marcy. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hello. Nice to meet you guys.
Yes. Marcy, this is our group, and Nelda will be our main anchor for tonight. Okay?
Okay.
And the rest of the group will be the panel, and we'll be asking you questions later. But in the meantime, um, um, the our main anchor would be Nelda. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Good evening, Miss Marcy.
Okay.
Um, good
Hi.
evening. Yeah, first of all, I would like to say hi to all the listeners and to all our viewers. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our guest speaker for today, an advocate for children with special needs and the author of What's Your Superpower? Which aims to inspire and educate families to consider an adoption. Let's all welcome Miss Marcy Hickman, Valenzuela.
Hello,
Hi,
Marcy.
Miss
Thank
Marcy.
you. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
We are
Can you
so
hear me
glad.
okay?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
You're
Yes,
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 Sandra.
loud and clear.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Miss Marcy, would you like to greet our televiewers?
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Marcy Valenzuela. I am the mother of, well, should I do the full story or shortly? I'm the mother of 11 children. 7 of them are in heaven. 5 were born with disabilities. 1 is adopted. And so I'm raising 4 children. And 2 of them have Down syndrome. And I am homeschooling them all right now. And it's a lot of fun, a little stressful, but it works. What else would you like to know about me?
A lot, Mom.
Okay.
first of all, first of all, Mom, what inspired to write you to write your book entitled "What's Your Superpower"?
What inspired me to write my book? I
Wow.
wanted, yes. Whoa. What inspired me to write this was when we went to Armenia to adopt Sophia. I got to go to a lot of different orphanages just to do care packages and give them stuff. And I realized there is so many children that need a loving home. And it broke my heart. I wanted to adopt all of them, literally. But then a voice came to me and told me, it's not your job to adopt them all. It's your job to find their families. So, in an effort to inspire people to reach out a little bit and realize that a child that has a cleft lip or a lost limb or some kind of disabilities, they are just the same as every other child. They all like pizza. They all like to jump on the trampolines. They all like to ride their bikes. They're the same as everybody else, just a little bit different. And so this book is really dedicated to all the children around the world that are hoping and waiting for someone to come and adopt them. I interviewed 14 different individuals, both young and old. So if it was like a child, I interviewed their parents. And I got all of their stories. And this is a wonderful book. And it's just filled with inspiration and joy and laughter and crying. And it's a little bit of everything, but it tells their story from their perspective. And it helps people understand what it's like to have spina bifida or cerebral palsy, or let's see, I've got, my goodness, I need to go through them all now. I have a person that had lost an eye. I have one of my sweet girlfriends from Switzerland. She had a train accident and she lost her arm and her leg. And it's all of their stories combined. And it's just to help people understand and know, am I going too fast? Do I need to slow down?
You're doing fine.
Am I speaking?
You're doing
Okay,
fine.
sorry, just checking.
Unless
So
somebody
it's
disagrees
just,
with me.
okay.
Sound off. Sound off. Oh, okay.
It's just to
Or
let people know and be aware of the different types of disabilities and syndromes and everything, and they're not scary. And it helps people be more relatable to people around the world that have these disabilities. Helps them to understand and know and kind of walk in their shoes with their stories. So what inspired me, sorry, so to get directly to your question, what inspired me was I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless so that they can have a chance to have their parents notified in a way, like, come get me, I'm here. I mean, this is what I have, but I'm not scary. It's not a bad thing. It's not hard. It's just a simple, it's a new part of my personality in a way. I mean, yes, they might have a little bit more special needs, but it's not, it's very, very doable, very easy in some cases to parent these children. So it's not a scary thing at all. So I wanted to be the voice for the voiceless. That's my main point.
You such a have a big heart with with children who has no parents. Ma'am, what challenges do parents of child with special needs usually face, and how can they face or outcome or overcome it?
So some of the challenges that I realized for myself that I had was I didn't know anybody at the time. Sorry, I'm adjusting my screen here. I didn't know anybody that also had a child with Down syndrome, but I was quickly invited into the community, the Down syndrome community, and so one thing that helped me kind of overcome my anxieties or fears about it was community, was to find the other parents that had the same situation, and just for everyone to be together and realize, oh, I'm not alone. Oh, I'm not a freak of nature, that, this isn't God cursing me. It's a gigantic blessing. It's not a curse, huge blessing. And people that have special needs children will realize it, hopefully sooner than later, because these children, they're so much closer to heaven than we realize. And if we just spend some time with them and just be with their sweet little spirits, they're the ones that are teaching us now. So to answer your question directly, the way I overcame things was having a community around me, having like a support system of other families, and in some cases having an outlet, like being able to go bike riding, or it's like just for myself, because it's hi. It can be a bit challenging. Oh, can you speak?
She's doing sign language interpretation for
Okay.
us, for our Filipino deaf. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying. I it helped me to have an outlet, to have either an activity or a person to talk to when I was feeling crazy, that I could go to and just kind of release my stresses and not put them on my children. You know, I mean, parents need an outlet too. So that's what helped me.
Yep, that's true. I think that's all we need, an outlet to overcome it.
Yes.
Yeah. As a parent, mom, Miss Marcy, what's your proudest or happiest moment raising you're raising your children, especially with special needs?
My proudest moments are their small achievements. For example, my Sophia, the one that we adopted from Armenia, she, at first it seemed like she only had really much control over these first three fingers, but not control over these fingers. And I kept trying to help her and teach her, because we do sign language in our family. I was keep trying to tell her how to do the "I love you" symbol, but she could never get her pinky up. And the day that happened, when I said, "Hey, honey, get in the car," she says, "Okay." And then she did that, and I thought, oh, yay, you know. And she finally lifted that pinky up, and like she had control over those fingers, and that was just that. Oh, I was elated. It was beautiful. Yeah, just small little things. Their words, how they speak and stuff. It takes a long time in some cases. But with my children, I'm telling that the same. That it takes quite a while for them to speak, to articulate words like banana, or, because I mean, Ariana, that was one of her first words, and she said ba da 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 da, like, banana, ba da 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 da. But she said it, and I'm like, yes. And just the small little things that really just they're awesome, you know.
Um, I have another question, mom.
Okay.
Yes. What are the most important things to you as a parent?
The most important things to me as a parent,
Yeah.
I am extremely thankful that I have such an amazing husband. I
Yeah.
feel like I really hit the jackpot and lucked out big time, because yeah, my husband is Chileno, from Chile, and they're very, very family oriented people. And he is an extremely good father, extremely good support to me, very loving, very willing to help out with the kids, help out with potty time or whatever it may be. It's he's a huge support to me. So I highly value my husband's support, and having, you know, a partner that I can rely on and can count on to help me out. So it's not just me. It's not just me ripping my hair out trying to take care of my little ones. And I love them. I don't want to sound like, you know, that they're naughty, but they can be. But it's just great to have someone to support me in that way. One of the best things for me as a parent, knowing that there's places online, there's support groups online, there's videos online that help to teach these children. For example, when I brought home Sophia from Armenia, she didn't know English. She didn't know hardly how to speak at all. With I think she knew her numbers in Armenian, and I'm thinking that's not going to help you in America. I mean, yes, I'm glad that you know your numbers, honey, but we got to teach you some English now. The thing that helps her the most, which was awesome, was it's called signing time. There's a group of videos that are made. It's called signing time, and it teaches children how to do sign language. And so Sophie came home and she learned not only English but sign language at the same time, which helped her just understand and learn, because there was music involved with it, and the words printed like along the bottom, and a picture of a bird or whatever it may be. But that was one of the hugest things that I'm so glad that I had. And that's actually available online if you wanted to do, like, if anyone wanted to get online and go to signingtimetv.com. I believe that's what it is. And it has like their full library for like $10 a month. It's cheap and very, very, very useful for me as a parent, because I already knew sign language, but it was nice to kind of get a refresher and help the children to learn how to do it too.
And I'm curious, Mom. What made you decide to adopt?
Oh boy, that's a big question. Well, my first son, when he was born, he had a heart condition, and it was called, and his heart was working in reverse, and he only lived for 3 hours. So after we lost him, and he did have Down syndrome, the doctor looked at him and said, this child looks like he could have Down syndrome. He has different characteristics, his ears, his eyes, and his hands. I think he might have Down syndrome, what the doctor said. So we had to have a funeral for him, which sucked as a parent because he was my first child. Then I get pregnant with my daughter, Ariana. And Ariana also had Down syndrome. So it was a little surprising to me, because it's like she was born and she looked exactly like Armando. It was almost spooky. and I thought, okay, so this is just a family look. My kids aren't weird. They don't have a disease or anything. It's just a family look. I didn't know at the time that they both had Down syndrome. So the reason why I decided to adopt, fast forward a little bit here, we're on vacation. Me and my husband are on vacation, and he has a dream. And he said, honey, I had a dream that I was playing with 2 little girls. They both looked a lot alike, and they were like the same age. And I thought, interesting. And so I went to my phone and grabbed my phone and looked up online really quick. Because I was looking at, it wasn't an orphanage. It was a group called Reese's Rainbow. And it's an advocacy group. And they have lists of children that are in orphanages waiting to be adopted around the world. And one of their sections was Down syndrome. And I thought, I'm curious. I've lost one child. And so I looked at, the boy section. And I thought, I don't want to replace him. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to, get another baby and just replace my child. No. So then I looked at the girls. And the whole time I'm on this website, my heart is pounding. I'm thinking, what is going on? I didn't know what was happening. I just felt this feeling, and then I see her. Then I find her little profile, her picture and everything, and I thought, oh my heck, I think this is my daughter. And so I'm on vacation, look up this picture, and I said, honey, is this the little picture, or is this the girl that you had a dream about? And she looks exactly like my daughter, Ariana. And he said, wow, they do look an awful lot alike. fast forward a little bit more, some more years, because it's like it wasn't the right time. We couldn't just, let's go adopt. That wasn't the right time. So fast forward a little bit more, and my husband, oh, let's see. No, it was me. We both had the same experience at the same day. And I was looking on her profile again to see if there was any more updates, any more pictures, because I really did feel like this is a little child that I'm supposed to adopt. And the whole morning, again, that feeling, just pounding heart, and I was emotional. I was like starting to cry, and I'm like, what is going on? I have no idea what was happening to me. And my husband, so he was going to work. He was driving to work, and he had kind of a similar experience where he had a voice, an almost audible voice telling him adopting this little girl is the right thing to do. He doesn't tell me this until later. So here I am at home freaking out, and and I go downstairs when he gets home, and I just say, honey, what's your true feeling about adopting this little girl? Because and I just start crying. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be crying. I just want to know what your feelings are. And so he recounts his experience, and that is when we made the decision. This is a big sign, and we need to take action on and get this little girl home and do it now. We don't need to wait. We just need to start running and do it now. And so that's what we did. And since then, I started running. Did we have the money? Nope. It was fundraised. The entire adoption was fundraised.
And Mom, what advice could you give to the parents who are planning to adopt a child, especially with those who want to adopt with special needs, child with special needs?
What was the first part of the question?
What advice could you give to the parents who are planning to adopt a child, especially with special needs child?
First off, when you start to adopt, you need to get a home study done. And all a home study is basically just interviewing the parents and seeing what space there is in their home, how their home is. Do they have another bedroom, or just kind of the conditions of their family, and if they're capable, are they mentally capable to take care of another child? Are they financially available to take care of this child? And let's see. So that would probably be the very first thing that they would need to get to prepare as a parent to adopt a child that has special needs. I would say be open-minded and listen to what comes to you, because things might surprise you. God is very surprising in many ways, and God will direct you. Be very prayerful. That's one thing I highly recommend. Be very prayerful in searching for the child that you want to have. And sometimes these children, they're, oh my goodness, miracles and miracles and miracles just flow to these families whenever they decide, I'm going to adopt. It's like heaven opens its windows and just blasts miracles to these families, because these children want to be adopted. They're like waiting and praying and hoping that they get adopted, and they help the situation come along, and it's miraculous how things turn out. I had no idea that I would be able to be a mother and fundraise the entire adoption, but it just happened. And literally it was the hand of God. I don't take any credit for what happened. It was the hand of God. I listened and I acted and I did it. So that's one thing I would very highly recommend. Listen and act and run. Don't walk, run.
Yes, that's true, Mom. One thing, I think this is my seventh question. Before I give the floor to my other co-host, I have another question, ma'am. What things have you found to enjoy about having a child with special needs?
What things are I found to enjoy? Oh my goodness, there's so much. Um, their own personalities, and I thought at first that when we were going to get Sophia and Ariana together, that they would be the same. Oh no, they're so very different. But I mean, Sophie is more of the jokester. She's very, very cheerful. She will climb up into anyone's lap and give you a great big hug and do songs with you. Patty cake, baker's man. And yeah, she but each of them, they're all so different. Ariana's more of the pretty princess. She'll wear her pretty dresses and put on her little play makeup and yeah, they're cute. And and then whenever Sophia starts to sing, Ari's like, no singing, because Ari doesn't like to hear her sing because it's too loud. Because sometimes she has sensitivity with her ears, and so she's like, Sophie, stop singing. She doesn't say it like that. It's more like baby talk, but just the little things they do. Um, Sophie, she loves to get in the fridge and get ham. I'm like, stop getting into the ham. Okay, mommy. um, just the funny little things they do. Yeah.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I would like to give the floor to my other co-host, um, Magoria, Sarum, um, uh,
Okay.
or
Um, yes, Marcy, I'm very curious about the book. Is
Yeah.
is book writing something you do for a living?
No,
No.
it's kind of started out as a hobby,
Mhm.
really. This is my first book. I've
First
got
book.
I've got at least five more. Um, I do, yeah. And
Mhm.
I've already got people lined up for book number two,
Mhm.
for all the interviews for the stories for book number two of this too. No, it's not something I do for a living yet.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
this really just barely got published and out, and so it's selling like hotcakes now. I'm only almost finished with my first box of books, but you can get it on Amazon. And I did give Nettie the link if she wanted to give that to the viewers or put that in the description um, of the video
Mhm.
afterwards. But
Yes, yes.
yeah,
That's, what do you do for a living?
I'm a mom.
Full
I'm,
time, full time mom. Mhm.
I am a full time mom.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm. I see.
Yep. I have several different certificates. Like I am a pharmacy technician and I'm a massage therapist and um, I love doing theater. I love acting and
Wow.
singing and dancing and but those are kind of from my previous life. Now I'm a mom.
um, so previous life, you mean? So you were acting professionally, or I mean, movies? Were you acting for movies?
Not for movies, no, more local things like theater and on stage
Oh,
um
theater.
type of acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have been an extra for in a movie before, but it wasn't anything like here's Marcy. They didn't know. I didn't get that.
What movie was that? What movie? I think I should watch it again.
Oh goodness, I don't think it was anything that um it was it's more it wasn't a big production type of thing. It was more just
Mm.
like a smaller local community type of, but they may have, yeah, it's nothing that would be out in the public that you could see. But yeah.
I got the title of our program from your one of your cover pictures in your Facebook profile. Yeah.
Okay.
And I found that miracles come in moments.
Yes. Very
Um,
true.
yes, could you care to elaborate on that theme? It touches a nerve, it touches a chord in my heart. Uh, Maybe if it comes from you, what it means, miracles come in moments. What does it mean for you? What does this quote mean for you?
Oh my goodness. That's another big question. Um, the thing that comes to mind right off the bat was when my daughter Lucy was born. And oh gosh, don't get me started. Okay. Um, when when I was pregnant with Lucy, I got huge. I was so big. And we didn't know, and she was flipped, she was breech. So her feet were down. And we didn't know why she wasn't flipping. So I went to get an ultrasound done just to see if she's tangled in her cord or why she wasn't flipping, why she wasn't going down. Within 24 hours of having the ultrasound, my water breaks. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a baby now. Go to the hospital and they go to hook me up on the heart monitors and everything. And the baby had no heartbeat. So within 24 hours, she went from having a heartbeat to passing away. And um, and I thought to myself, okay, what now? Because I was thinking, when we get in the hospital, I thought, do I need to have a C-section? What do I need to do? I want to have a live child, because prior to this, I had several children that did not live. And a couple were full-term babies that did not live, and it sucked. But so I was willing to do anything. If we needed to have a C-section, let's go for it. They said, well, you don't have to have that anymore because she doesn't have a heartbeat. So I'm thinking, what now? And they said, well, you can have a natural birth technically. And so by choice, and I know this might sound weird to people, but I did not get an epidural, didn't get drugged up. I wanted to do it naturally. And as I started to go through labor and everything, I realized a very important thing that I didn't know before, because it never came to my mind before. A child that's alive helps themselves be born. A child that's dead. So I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have that luxury of having the child help me deliver. It was all 100% up to me to try to push this child out. And the doctor, the sweetheart doctor, he knew that I wanted to do this on my own. I didn't want to be drugged. And but it came to a point where it was so hard for me. And it was probably the hardest thing I have ever done in my entire life physically. But he was sitting over to the side, just waiting, and he's almost like, if I can help you, you need to let me know. And I got to the point where I turned to him and I said, I need your help to get this baby out of me. The second I said that, he was right there. And I took that as a gigantic life parable. God is always there in the wings, will always be there, but he will never encroach on us and say, here, let me help you. No, God will never do that to us. The second we ask God and pray for him and say, please help me, he's right there. And so miracles and moments, that was one of the hugest things I got from that experience of having Lucy, having a stillborn child, was to know that God is always there, but he will never jump in on us. He will always wait for us to ask. So we've got to pray. We've got to ask.
What about
Miracle moment. Sorry?
oh, but your child was stillborn, right? She was stillborn.
Yeah,
So
she was not alive.
so
I gave birth to her.
didn't
She
you
was breech.
feel that it wasn't a miracle after all?
Oh no, that was a miracle. That was definitely a miracle. I learned so many things from that experience. I have with all of my children, alive or dead. I've learned ugh, beautiful things with every single one of them. But yeah, and I know it might sound silly that no, I didn't have a live child, and so it's not a miracle. I think it was definitely a miracle
So how do you
because,
reconcile the miracle and a dead child? How do you reconcile it? Where's the miracle in that?
well, the miracle for one, she was breech, she was foot first, and it was a miracle that I was able to do that. To give birth to a breech baby, because some doctors say no, we don't deliver breech. We're going to have to cut you open and do a C-section. But I was able to do it, and it was empowering for me to know that yeah, I can do hard things. Look, I just did that. I just gave birth to a breech baby, even though it wasn't alive. Again, it sucked, but so many lessons were learned. I mean, yes, I would love to have a live child, but had I not gone through that experience, I wouldn't have had the lessons that I learned from it. So the miracle to me was, oh, and then after after that, so I continue to have experiences with my children after they've passed away, and I was having a kind of a moment, just talking, praying out loud, and I said, "Can I talk to Lucy?" And the answer came, "Yes, go for it." And so I was talking to her. And I said, I know you're in heaven. I know you're surrounded by beauty and peace and light and love and everything. I know where you are. Is there anything, as your mother, as your earthly mother, is there anything that I can do for you? And I heard her in my mind. I heard her say, I want you to have joy. I want you to have joy, and I want you to seek joy. And I thought, okay, I'll see what I can do. Fast forward. Now this is cool. Fast forward to that story. I take a pregnancy test and find out I'm pregnant again. And the first thing that came to my mind after I took that test was what Lucy said to me. She said, I want you to have joy. I want you to have my sister. Her name is Joy. This is your baby's name. Your baby's name is Joy. And so my baby, who is 1 year old, her name is Vivian Joy. And so I took that to mean two things. Number one, she wanted me to have her sister, who's waiting in heaven, waiting to be born. And number two, she wants me to be happy. She wants me to really have the feeling of joy. So it was a two-way message. Another miracle that I would never have had she not passed away. I had that experience and I received that message from her. Miracles, 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 all around. Ask for miracles and you will get them.
What about in your book? In your book, would you identify, or if ever, are there moments of miracles that came in your writing the book?
Every page, yes, every page. So as I wrote the book, I interviewed all of the people or all of the parents with the children that have special needs. And as I'm writing it, sitting down and kind of transposing and writing it, I not only write down the words that they gave me, but I realized this needs to be written out so it's as though the child or the person were speaking themselves. So it's their story. They're telling their own story. But there were some things that I felt like I had to kind of say a little prayer and get some guidance and help from that child. Like, can you help me figure out how to write this? And some of the children have different experiences. One of them sees angels. She doesn't speak. She's nonverbal. So I was talking with her mother about this. And so that was one I kind of had to ask her, or ask her spirit in a way, like, can you help me understand what you mean by this? And the words just flowed, and I was able to complete some of these holes that I had in my book from inspirations that I got directly from the people.
Um, you were in theater before. Was it something
Mhm.
serious? Your acting career, was it something you considered seriously when you were acting at the time?
I would have loved to have become like a professional actor. That would have been a dream of mine, but um, no, it was really more for fun. I did it when I was in school and high school, and in the community. They have different theater programs in our community, and I've been in many choirs. Love being in choirs. Um, it's not something that I ever really professionally pursued. Um, I am with a talent agency, and every once in a while they'll give me like an audition to come to, but um, and I've gotten a couple uh, of jobs from that, and it's just it's nothing big, but it's fun. I like it.
Mhm. I asked because I'm curious. Was there something that you desired to become when you were younger, and now that you're a mom, as you say, uh, were all your plans fulfilled?
In different times, yes,
Mhm.
yeah, because I feel like I had the time uh, to grow my talents,
Mhm.
to um, have those experiences, have those uh, like it's like family when you're part of a theater or part of a group, and you're performing. It's like you're in your own little family. And I since I've had so many of those individually, I feel like I was fulfilled at that time. And then the next chapter happens, and I get married, and then I get my vocation education and do my job, and it's just different stages and different chapters of life. And I I feel like I've accomplished a lot, and then I'm satisfied with each moment that came along. And now I'm a mom, and I get to experience momhood and all the craziness that happens with that, good and bad.
Mhm. What would
But and it's
go ahead, please.
oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, continue.
Oh,
I
I
was
was I was going to say um I don't or I'm still acting and doing music and stuff like that with my kids. I write songs for them, and they each have their own like little personal song, and so it's not something that everybody knows about, but just something fun that we do at home. And um, we do animal sounds. What animal is this sound? And they guess. And so it's fun. It's just fun to keep playing with my talents in my own family.
I asked because I was wondering if there's some kind of a frustration on your part. Like for me, for example, in my case, I'm also involved in theater,
Uh-huh.
and I in fact I wanted to be. I trained in filmmaking. I wanted to be a filmmaker,
Very
but
cool.
but somehow it didn't happen. It doesn't happen. It didn't. I did everything. um, so there's a
Well, and
lot.
look where you are now.
Now this is my my way of trying to achieve what I
Yeah.
wanted before is. And that's why I ask, don't you feel that there wasn't any miracle in your career as a movie actor, as a theater actor? uh, God didn't grant you a miracle. I suppose you were also asking for a miracle at the time when you wanted to be an actress in the theater. Don't you ever feel that God is not granting you that miracle to be an actress in theater?
I understand what you're saying. I do. And to answer that, I have realized that I might have a plan, but God has another plan, and God's plan is always better. And so then I kind of sit back and think to myself, why did this change? What am I supposed to learn from this? And why am I supposed to take this path now? And something always happens. I meet somebody else. I meet you. You know, I would have never have met you if you wouldn't have done this. If you would have pursued your own dream farther. I mean, I'm happy to have met you. You know, this is great. I've never spoken with somebody halfway around the world like this. And but for me as an actress, there's always going to be that that what if, or kind of that little heartache that, you know, I wish I could have been better, but look where I am now. I am raising these amazing children. I get to see their first things, their first steps, their first words, their first how do they write their names? Oh, they write their names. That's so awesome. I'm so happy with my kids. And my son, who's 5 years old, he reads books. He's 5 and he's reading. So I would miss these things. If I was pursuing what I wanted to do, I would miss them. God's plan is always better. And it leads us exactly where we need to be. And so with that being said, I'm not sorry that I never made it big as an actress yet. There's still time.
Agree. If God's plan is always better, how come he allows us to plan? Why not he does all the planning? After all, it's always better. So why does he let us plan? Why does he give us the trouble of planning when God's plan is always better?
Well, God loves his children and he wants us to have our own minds. He doesn't want to force us to do something and, you know, do this and you'll be good and you'll come back to heaven. That's not what God's going to do. He's going to give us our choice and our agency. And it's yeah, I'm not sure how to answer that better or more, but yeah, it's God will always love his children and won't force us. He'll be there whenever we ask, and he'll help us get to where we want to be. But I mean, just like me having my children, if I would have had all 11 children, I would have definitely had to have a nanny, or I'd have gone nuts. And I mean, some people can do that. They have these gigantic families, but that wasn't for me right now. That wasn't in my plan, but I mean, God's plan is always better. And I've learned so many things. And along my path of learning things and losing my children, so many people along the way that have heard my story have gotten inspired, have learned things from me, from my experience. And had I not gone through that, they would have not experienced what they have. So God's plan, it works. It's not just one person, it's everybody. Everybody is learning something all at the same time. So God's plan is always better.
When do I know? When do I stop? Because he has given us, he has given me the strength, the stubbornness to pursue plans and ambitions. I'm a prayerful person. I pray. I and yet I try to do my best to follow God's will. But the very sure thing that I know is my plan. So how do I know if I should persist in pursuing my plan, or time to let go and follow God's plan?
Here's what I do, or what I would suggest to you. God's never going to tell you what to do. It's never going to tell me what to do. It all starts with what we want to do, and then taking it to the Lord, and saying, being prayerful and saying, this is what I would like to do. Whether it's an adoption, I would like to adopt this child. Is this something you approve of? Can you help me with it? How do I do it? And it's like, I've made a choice. Now I'm taking it to the Lord. Then you're going to get your inspirations. Once you get those inspirations, you've got to write them down. And then you've got to follow through with them. So it really depends on what you feel, what you want, go for your dreams, reach for the stars. But be prayerful about it, because if you're not, the Lord wants to help us every step of the way. We're his children. If you had a son, wouldn't you want to help your child every step of the way with what they're doing? It's the same thing with Heavenly Father and with God. He wants to help us. We just have to ask him, and we have to listen, because sometimes the way we want things to go is not the way that he wants to guide us. Because the only way that people can grow is when there's hardships. We're not going to grow when it's easy and just hunky-dory. We're not going to grow that way. We've got to have hardships in order to grow and get the experience and the knowledge from those hardships. That's necessary. So be thankful for those hardships. Be thankful for your downtime, if you call it that, of not making it as an actor yet. Be thankful for that, because there's something that you're learning right now.
Thank you, Marcy. Marcy, Nelda tells me that you have to take a break sometime now. Is it time?
Can you go check on No. Okay, we're good.
Good.
Keep going.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Nelda, I'm okay. I like to thank Marcy for putting a lot of enlightenment in my predicament also.
Sure, my pleasure.
Nelda, nakamute. You're on mute, Nelda. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh.
Yes, thank you, Sir Ro. I think Mark said Doc Tama has a question.
Okay,
Mark,
Mark. Mark, show
you're on
your
mute.
camera. Mark's camera. Mark. Okay, there's Mark. Yeah.
Hello.
He
Good
has a
evening, Ma'am
question.
Mercy. Marcy.
Hi.
Miss Marcy. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I
What's
have
your question?
a question, ma'am.
Okay.
What do you love the most about children?
What do I love the most about children? Their laughter. I love their
Yes.
laughter. I love their individual personalities. One of my favorite things to do is Tickle Kids, because they get laughing. I love their eyes. Children's eyes are beautiful, and you just see right into their little souls. And I love to play with them and learn about them. And not every child. Children are so different. Whether it's a child who's a normal child or a child that has some kind of disabilities. I love spending time with those children that have disabilities too, because it's like you can see their spirits bigger and brighter, even though they might not speak. But if you spend a little bit of time with them and just say, hi, how are you? And can just look at their eyes, and their eyes just go, hi. And they're just full of joy. And children are they're joyful. I love to be around children. They're joyful.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah, I love
you.
those also. I love this also. The smile. They're
Yes.
it's very pure. It's very pure. So
Yes.
my follow-up question, ma'am, is what advice could you give to the parents that have a disabilities child or has special needs? What advice could
Good.
you give?
Um, I would say don't expect these children to be just like any other child. They are going to have their unique situations, and treat them with kindness in their own trials. For example, with my daughters and going potty. They're 8 years old and they are finally now potty trained, which was a big deal. And I mean, so don't give an expectation to a child that is just not capable of finishing something. However, push your child, push them and let them. Don't treat them like, oh, you're less. You can't do that because you have this disability. Don't do that. No, push them to do their best and reach their highest. And if it doesn't seem possible for them to ride a bike, try it and give them that light and that motivation and say, you can do this. Anything you put your mind to, you can totally do. So practice that piano or practice singing. Even though they sing horrible, that's fine. Celebrate that. They're opening their mouth. They're getting sounds out. They celebrate every single thing they do. Celebrate them and let them know that they're loved. And let's see, advice to parents with special needs children. Treat them as individuals, but don't diminish them. Treat them with love and respect and joy.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll remember.
Okay. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. I
Thank you.
appreciate your call. You're welcome. Thank you.
God bless you, ma'am.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Miss,
you, Ate Nelda.
yes. I think Miss Nikki, would you like to ask?
Nope. Was that a question for me?
No, for
Or
Nikki.
Yes,
Nikki is
oh,
preparing.
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
yes, hello. Good evening, Miss Marcy.
Hello.
Uh,
Did you have a
my
question?
first question would be in line with, yes, with adopting. Uh, do you connect with foster homes to uh, be able to help find adoptive families for children with special needs?
I have a girlfriend that adopted her daughter through the foster program in America here. So yes, that is one way that you can definitely um, do adoption is by fostering these children. Um, I have not done that myself. I am interested in doing a foster program with children. I'm not, but I've never done it yet. So I don't know if I can um, give much information about that right now because I haven't done it yet. But that is one way that a lot of people in America I know have adopted their children is by fostering them first, taking care of them first. And I know there's a lot of programs around the world that do a foster program. I think there's some in China, and yeah, just various places. But those are really good because it helps that child to have a family, even though they may not be their forever family yet. They could potentially become their forever family. So I highly approve of the foster programs. Did that answer your question?
Right, thank you, ma'am.
Did that
Yes.
answer your question? Okay.
For my next question, yes. For my next question, what, so you would consider your book writing as a would you consider your book writing as a passion project?
Definitely a passion project. Yes, I well, like I had mentioned to the other uh, host, I've got at least five more books in my brain, so um, I know the next books that are going to be coming out. Uh, one of which is going to be titled, um, oh shoot, it just left my brain. Talking about the losses of my children. Um, uh, oh my goodness, I just forgot the name of the book that I was going to do. But yeah, I do have several more that are in the works of coming out, but so far just one. But it is definitely a passion project. I like hearing other people's stories. I like creating, and I really like. I found from doing this book, I really like bringing out the good and pulling from the positive side of things, and because there's so much crap in the world, and especially right now, it's just there's turmoil, and people need to have something good to read, to focus on, and to kind of get out of their own brains. And yeah, so I like to be able to create goodness.
Thank you, ma'am. Now for possibly, yes, my last question. Um, how do you effectively manage your time among your children?
Scheduling, and routine. Uh, so for me, in the morning, I like to sleep as long as I can. That doesn't always mean I get to sleep in, but whenever I hear my kids have a bunk bed, so there's one on the bottom, one on the top, and they have like a stairs. And so whenever I hear those little footprints come down the stairs, I know, oh, okay, it's time to get the girls to potty. Um, and so I have a routine with the kids, and after they go potty, they get in the kitchen, sit down to the table. Sometimes I have to drag them to the table and like sit down, and we do breakfast, and just routine. Routine is a really good way to keep your own brain functioning and stay sane. It's not always like that though. Not at all. And there's routine with different things. Like if we need to go in the car, I'll say, okay, in the car, buckle up, because and just a routine of getting in the car, buckling up. And it takes children with special needs at least 2, 3, sometimes 4 times as long to understand things. So I'm noticing for myself that I repeat myself a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Um, and let's see. Yeah, for them, even the smallest things. Oh, speaking. So speaking has been a challenge for my girls because they don't articulate well. They don't. They just kind of mull their words. They don't speak clearly, and so whenever they say something and I hear it that we need to work on, like the word chips, like chips, that you like salsa and chips. They can't say that word clearly because it has the sp. So I have to really help them, and I'm like, watch your words, chips, and I have to help them articulate things. So I feel like I'm constantly teaching and teaching, helping them with their words or whatever it may be. But it takes children at least 2, 3, 4 times as long to learn something, more than a regular child would. But to go back to your original question, routines, repetition, and consistency. Those 3 things, routines, repetition, consistency, are what help the most.
All right. Thank you, ma'am, and God bless you. All the best.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Miss Nikki. Miss Elaine, would you like to ask?
And Nelda,
Yes, sir.
it's the ethics for sign language interpreters not to get involved
Okay, okay, sir.
in the
Ah,
discussion.
okay, sir. I'm so sorry. I have one more question, Miss Marcy.
Huh?
You told us when I read your biography, you told there's you have seven kids are in heaven, right, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
Are those seven kids have disabilities?
Five. Five of them did.
Five of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Uh,
No, 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 no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I'm the mother of 11 children. Five were born with disabilities. Seven of them are in
mm,
heaven, but not all seven have disabilities. Um, so the ones that have disabilities, I have Ariana and Sophia, that's adopted, and then my son who is in heaven, Armando, he had Down syndrome, and I had two other miscarriages that we know for certain had disabilities. They had some kind of genetic anomaly or something happened with their little bodies just didn't form right. Um, so yeah, there's five, two living and three that passed away.
mm, I see. Can you give us source, mom, where we can get your book or we can buy your book?
Yes, if you look it up on Amazon, and I think I
Yeah.
did give you that link.
Mm.
But the name of my book, and you have to put you can either look it up by my name, that might be easier. It's Marcy Valenzuela. Just look that
Mhm.
up on Amazon, Marcy Valenzuela, and this book will pop up, and you'll recognize it from the cover and stuff, just the little boy and the cape and everything. But otherwise, you have to put in the full title of the book, which is "What's Your Superpower from Special Needs to Superheroes." You have to put the full name of the book in, or it won't pull up. Or just do my name. It might be easier to just do my name. So just pull it up on Amazon. Go to Amazon Books and either do my name or the title, and you'll find it.
Okay, ma'am. Before we wrap up, Miss Marcy, so Rob, would you have another question, or are we
It's
going to wrap up
it's
now?
not a question.
Yeah.
It's an
A que-
appeal. It's an appeal
mhm.
for God to give another miracle now.
Okay.
Because Marcy, um, the Center for Persons with Disability Advocates is not limited to Philippine persons with disability. We envision this to be an international project because
Wonderful.
when persons with disability, normally we would think of Filipino persons with disability. We, in our experience in the Philippines, we don't think of persons with disability per se. I mean, a person with disability is a person with disability, regardless of nationality.
Yep.
So,
Actually,
mhm.
when I heard the name of your foundation, and everything, I didn't know it was just secluded to the Philippines. I
I
thought it
see.
was an international thing.
Wow, thank you. So, well, I'm glad you had that impression because that is what the impression we like, and the next thing is to make it a reality. And I would like to invite you as uh, one of
I
our
approve.
volunteer co-anchors. Yeah, you can just
Okay.
join us as a co-anchor, just like the others. When you have free time, when you're available,
Okay.
we just talk about
Yeah,
topics. Wow, thank you so much.
I'd love to.
Wow,
Yeah,
and I'll coordinate the
I'd be
details.
honored.
Wow, thank you
Okay.
so much, Marcy.
I'd be very honored. That would be amazing. I'd love to do that.
I thank you, God, for the miracle today, for this moment.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Ma'am
Okay.
Marcy.
Uh,
My
okay.
pleasure. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll totally join the team.
Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank
We're
Nelda.
happy to.
Nelda, I won't speak now because I'm very happy.
Thank you
It's
so
more.
much, ma'am.
I think. I hope this is not the last, ma'am.
Oh, of course not.
Precisely, precisely. That's what she's
We
saying.
are always we are online every 8 a.m. Manila time, 1 p.m. Manila time, and 8 p.m. Manila time. You can join us every day if
Let's-
you have.
Okay.
Speaking of that,
Yes.
speaking of timing, Nelda, the basis of our timing is based on Filipino audience.
Yes.
Okay, so if we are to really speak of an international broadcast, then we have
Yes.
to adjust our timings on a based on a 24-hour basis. So, so what time is it there now, Marcy?
Right now, let's see. I have my phone. It is now
7.
7:11
7.
a.m.
A.m. Where is your
Mm-hmm.
location? Where is your location?
I'm Mountain Time, so I'm in Utah.
Utah. I see. Okay. Okay. And so anyway, because your husband is from Chile,
Uh huh.
right? And we love
Honey.
we'd love to reach persons with disability also from Chile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your
Is that
husband
the
in any
Latin
way
America,
involved in your
Chile?
advocacy?
Yeah. My husband is actually he's an animator. He
Animator.
draws like
Wow.
cartoon type things. He's a teacher.
Mm.
Wow.
He teaches at the college to do 3D animation,
Mm.
and that's what he does for his work and everything. But yes, he does. Um, we're both kind of advocates for special needs kids, and um, he would actually love to do. He'd love to be the next Walt Disney,
Yes, yes, yes.
and yeah, he would love to, and have a park specifically
Wow.
for children that have disabilities,
Mhm.
because there's so many rules and stuff when you go to Disneyland or something that um, it doesn't cater as well
Yes,
to
yes.
special needs individuals
Correct.
as they could. And so my husband has this idea to create a park, and it would
Valen-
be specific for special needs people.
what's your husband's first name?
My husband's first name is Robinson.
Ro-
So
Rob
Robinson Valenzuela.
Robinson Valenzuela. Wow.
Robinson.
And
Mm-hmm.
a theme park for access, a very accessible theme park for persons with disability in Utah. Does he see it in Utah?
It were,
Your
I'm sorry,
husband.
I didn't understand.
The theme park, the park for persons with disability. Does he envision it in Utah or also in California or in Hong Kong? Two for the
um, Probably one place at a time. I think probably Utah at first.
Utah first.
But yeah, it could probably expand, but um, yeah, we're not quite there yet. As far as he's got it all planned out and he's written it up and stuff, but there's a lot of things that has to go behind that funding, and
Correct.
just a lot of things to go behind that to make it a reality. So hopefully that will be a reality before we die,
Yes, yes,
but don't
yes,
know when exactly that is going to be.
yes. And when you inform us that he's also into animation, because this
Yeah,
project, this person's PWD Advocates TV, we'd like to also have some variety in terms of the programming, in terms of the content, in terms of the visuals and animation. Having an animated program would would definitely make a mark in this project. So I'm just
that's
thinking.
something. Yeah, I could connect you with my husband. You guys could talk about it. That's something you could talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marcy. Another miracle. Thank you, God, for another miracle. Okay, Nelda, I'll stop. I really stop now. I'll stop now.
Okay. Thank you so much. We are so blessed, Miss Marcy, for being our guest tonight. And we hope this is not the last because you are now the part of our program. Um, would you like to say some party words? No? Just a little, few
Farewell.
questions, a few sentences.
Sure. Um, Thank you guys for contacting me and reaching out. I'm glad that I was able to hear about the project that you're doing with this. And thank you for the people that came on and asked me questions. Thank you for the time that you took with me.
Thank you so
I know I
much,
can be a little
ma'am.
bit long-winded and speak long. Thank you for your time and your efforts and for the good work that you guys are doing. Thank you, audience, for joining us. And please let us know if there's anything more that you would like to know from me. Again, if you want to purchase my book, you can either look up my name on Amazon, which is Marcy, it's Marcy Valenzuela, VALENZUEUEUELA, Valenzuela. Or what's your superpower from special needs to superheroes? And either my name or the title of the book, that's how you can find my book online. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day, and God bless.
God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, ma'am.
God bless you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you,
God
Nikki.
bless.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Miss Elaine.
Thank you
Thank you,
po.
Sir Rose.